Hey everybody, Paul Drabik here. I've just got to address a couple issues this morning. I've been running a campaign of um, sunlights, so to speak, and shining the light on some issues in Downers Grove. See, my contention is that the representative government in Downers Grove pretends that everything's just fine and dandy and hunky dory and doesn't take responsibility for their platform at all. There's been a couple of things that have happened just this week that I've shined some light on. And, I haven't seen one person on the village council, including the mayor, has acknowledged the existence of these issues. And so I've criticized them for that. And I think rightly so. Now, the excuse is that, oh, that's a separate taxing body and we don't have any jurisdiction over it and we don't have any governing authority over it. I'm well aware, and I've said so in public. But you have a platform, okay? You represent the village of Downers Grove. And if, say, WGN Morning News highlights that a special education teacher and soccer coach at Downers South, high school is facing 3 sexual abuse charges after allegations involving a 15-year-old, and that is the second teacher slash coach that has been arrested for pedophilia in Downers Grove in the last 3 years. Perhaps as a representative government, you could, I don't know, use your platform to call out the school board and Superintendent Hank Thiel and say, what the hell is going on at Downers Grove South? 2 pedophile teachers in 3 years? But it's not your job because you don't have authority over the school board. So what? Then you're just going to pretend like it doesn't exist? You govern this town. You are a representative of government of this town. And you have 2 pedophiles in 3 years at your high school. Say something. Use your platform to say something. Then, of course, a day later, Chicago Sun-Times, in Downers Grove Park, free speech is limited to this tiny square. Not just one park. Our park district is violating our First Amendment right, the most fundamental right that we as Americans have. In our town, one of our taxing districts is violating the citizens' free speech. And our representatives on village council and the mayor have nothing to say about it? Nothing? Oh, that's right. The mayor does have something to say about it. Let's see. Let's read this highlight part. If someone is asking for your vote for the Downers Grove Village Council, then suggests they will control what goes on at the library or the schools, they either don't understand the job they're asking you to place them in, or they're lying to you. If they suggest that immigration policy is something that should make you vote for them, they don't understand the job or they're lying to you. If they suggest a park district facility policy is a reason they should be elected to the village council, they don't understand the job or they're lying to you. Well, Mayor, I've never suggested any of those things. I think you're lying, saying that I have. What I've continually said is you are a representative. No, you are the leader of government in the village of Downers Grove. And you have nothing to say about 2 pedophile teachers at one of the high schools in Downers Grove. You cannot apply public pressure to the school board or to the superintendent to say this is unacceptable. You can't have that opinion. You know what? Citizens have more leadership qualities than you because they've gone out in public on social media and said this is unacceptable. But the leader of the government can't say it. That is not leadership. That's not leadership. And furthermore, I'm glad you brought up the immigration policy thing, Mayor Barnett, because a year ago I had pointed out that there were buses coming to the train station and dropping off people, illegal immigrants, at the train station because of Mayor Johnson's impounding buses going to the city. A political move, obviously. I made public comment and said that we should make ordinance like other villages around us made ordinance to keep those buses from coming to our village because we don't know who these people are or where they're coming from or what their backgrounds are. and it was poo-pooed by the mayor. We don't need to do that. They're all moving on. Well, that's not true because I have video of some of those migrants getting into a car and not getting on the train going to the city. And then I was not surprised when I came across a constituent that I was dropping a sign off to that said that his UPS driver was attacked at his front door and his package was stolen by a Venezuelan illegal immigrant. He spent 2 hours with the police while they took his statement, and I asked him, how do you know it was a Venezuelan? That's what the police said when they did apprehend these people. And we've got a FOIA with the Downers Grove Police Department to find that out. So it turns out I was right. And you did actually have authority create an ordinance to keep them out, because other villages were doing it too. And we are a home rule community, meaning we have a certain latitude in how we govern ourselves, unlike some other communities in Illinois. All right, then we have a representative after those things that happen in our community who is going to talk about a crime has been committed in Downers Grove. The brand new sign on Ogden Avenue was vandalized and destroyed. However, despite some village candidates trying to scare you into thinking Downers Grove is unsafe, it's not. Heinous acts like this, heinous acts like this are becoming less and less common. In other words, Downers Grove is extremely safe. No town hall is needed. No town hall. That's right, because I am having a town hall at the American Legion Post 80 in Downers Grove, down off of Saratoga, to talk about what is going on in our suburbs and how we can save our suburbs. Because we have boys and girls locker rooms in our suburbs. We have sex books, which I'll talk about next, in our libraries for 4 to 8-year-olds. We have pedophile teachers in our high schools. We have our park districts violating our First Amendment rights. And this is all courtesy of the left side of the political spectrum. And then we have representatives in government who will not only lie about how I want to govern these taxing bodies that I have no authority over when I get to be in village council, but they will just show that they are not responsible and serious leaders because they can't even use their platform to speak out against these obvious, egregious acts and violations of our rights. So, and then you have another candidate who he's not going to speak out. He's not going to speak out about how we have 2 pedophile teachers in the last 3 years at our high schools or the violation of our First Amendment rights by our park district. He's going to cry about his sign. Hey, I got news for you. People have been stealing my signs left and right because I have the nerve to speak out about some of these things. And I have the nerve to suggest that I will use my platform not to govern other taxing bodies that I have no authority over, but for crying out loud, to say something. I mean, when you see these congressional hearings where the Congress people are holding the bureaucrats to account by questioning them, do you think that they're exercising some authority over them? Or do you think they're using their platform to call out the egregious violations that some of these bureaucrats are engaging in? Because I would suggest the latter. And do you think that the media, when they do stories about this, do you think that they have some sort of governance authority because they're calling out some of these things? No. But do you think they may have some effect on policy because they're putting a spotlight on some of these things? I wonder. So what I'm saying is, if you want someone who's going to show actual leadership and who's going to call out these egregious violations, I'm your guy, Paul Drabik. I am going to say something. I'm not going to sit up there like we see with our candidates now and our representatives now and engage in this false decorum and suggest that everything's sunny and good. And I've never suggested that safety is an issue in our town. I've suggested it's an issue at our library, and I've suggested that maybe giving latitude to homeless people and, people who are mentally ill, doing things like lewd conduct and indecent exposure and assaulting library staff and then only suspending them for a month and not having any security personnel. Maybe that's not the proper policy. And maybe we should continue to shine light on these things and hold these public institutions accountable through shining sunlight on them. So, I am going to continue to do this, and I am going to fight for the people, the property owners, and the business owners like I've done all along during this campaign. I thank you for your time, and I thank you for your vote.